We're going to move forward without it. Woo! Everyone, this is Trey coming at you with some Trey Talk on a Wednesday, and it is Laugh and Learn lunchtime. And I have the amazing Sharleen Linton in here with me on this amazing Wednesday. So before I let her and Mike and tell her more about herself, I want to tell you about me really quickly. I am an internationally known medicine woman. I am the CEO and founder of Return to Self. It is my passion to help women to have confidence and clarity to self-actualize the life of their dreams. How? With a combination of utilizing shamanic energy and mentoring of that mental and emotional body that's always got stuff going on, you guys. So I am fired up because this goddess here, she is going to be talking about some energy that I am so excited to hear about. So as I mute my mic here in this clubhouse and switch it to her, I am going to ask that you guys please share the room. If you want to join the conversation, I just ask that you have a bio, that you have a lovely what do you call it? Something connected to your profile so that I can know you're a real person and you want to add value to this conversation. We are fired up to start this topic. So we're going to have a Q&A. It's a Q&A time with Miss Mia Charlene. So Miss Charlene, please unmic yourself and tell these people who you are, what you do, and the people you serve.
Good evening, good afternoon. Well, it's evening here in the UK. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. It's such a pleasure to join you. I am Charlene, the Vocal Alchemist. And what is a vocal alchemist? I can hear you asking. So a vocal alchemist, like me, is somebody who reads vocal energy. I help you to really have a voice that is so full of authority and power and confidence that you can get up on a TED stage and be an amazing phenomenon. You can get up on a live stream. You can convert people into sales. And you can have a voice that really soothes people and magnetizes people into your business and into your offerings. So alchemy is the process of turning something that is lead into something that is gold. And when I read people's voices, and when I say read people's voices, what I really mean is I can hear where people's blind spots are. So even if you were talking to me about your favorite color, for example, I can hear your characteristics, I can hear entire belief systems. For some people who I have coached, like even here on Clubhouse, I'm like, what's that thing that happened when you were 4? I can hear it all. I've got supersonic hearing when it comes to energy and when it comes to frequency. And so when I'm able to kind of detect these things, any kind of distortions or wonk in your frequency, I help you to realign. I help you to realign to love and to power so that your voice speaks the voice of your divinity. And I'm telling you, when you speak the voice of your divinity, and you're so clear and you embody it so beautifully, money will never be an issue in your business ever again. And being heard, being valued, and being respected will never, ever be an issue ever again. So that's what I do in a nutshell.
Wow. Okay, switch mics. Oh my gosh, isn't that amazing? Now, this is why I was so excited to have this conversation because I love energy. And I also am an energy reader in my healing work. I can sense the stagnancy, and it's interesting. I follow the leads. We're still having some feedback. I don't know what's going on. Okay, let me try clearing this down. So what I also do is like, oh my gosh, I understand that when I am like, I could follow energy even past this lifetime and see where its origination comes from. And this is where some people are so quick, they don't realize that some things aren't even of this world or of this realm. It's a generational, it could be through your bloodline, it could be something that's being recreated that's going on. So, oh my gosh, this is where when I heard this goddess in another room talking her talk, I backed out. I was like, I gotta have you. I would love to have you on my Love and Learn lunch, all things health and wellness, because you are not only she is an empowering person. She's out there doing the thing, but she's teaching people how to ascend so that they can do the thing. And this is where we are going to get into this conversation, because I had so many questions. She was like, well, and when I started researching her, I said, oh my gosh, how, and I'm like the question maniac person, because I'm so curious. I'm curious about all things, everything. And so immediately I start thinking of these questions. Well, when did it begin? How did it begin? So I'm assuming, I could be wrong, but was it a musical interest or sound, or how did this journey begin for you? Was it your whole childhood, or how does, oh, switch mics. We're playing this multi-platform here. Go ahead.
So here's the thing. I've always been in the realm of music, right? For the past 20 years, I'd say. I was doing a lot of background singing work, so a lot of session singing work. So I would get in the studio and I would be that unknown voice on a lot of famous people's albums. And I would also tour with a lot of platinum selling artists, right? People like Jennifer Hudson,
Wow.
Smokey Robinson, that kind of thing. And
Oh
I've
my
always
God.
been fascinated by sound. I've always been fascinated with the voice and what it can do and what it can create. And around year 17 of my career, I became less satisfied with the idea of touring all the time. I was always living out of a suitcase and I was always on an airplane. And I decided that I wanted to create a life where I was home. You know, I had other goals apart from being in the music industry. And I just remember maybe 5 years ago now, I was watching YouTube on my television. And I just remember watching a Kanye West interview on YouTube and listening to his voice. I was like, that's not what he means. The things that he was saying, like there was more things to it in regards to what he actually meant. And I started to see
So
certain
basically, like
images.
perceiving what he couldn't communicate. Go ahead. I know the backpack. Go ahead.
I just felt like there was extra to the story. And I started to see. Do you remember the old style barcodes? Well, they're still on packages like goods in the supermarket, right? You would scan the barcode and the price comes up and you pay for your goods. I started to see these barcodes when I was listening to people's voices. And, you know, barcodes is like a thick white line and a thin white black line and a thick black line and a thin all the way down, and it creates a pattern. And that code has all the information that it needs for this particular grocery item. And that's why you scan it and the price comes up. I started to see barcodes in regards to people's voices, but I knew what the thick line meant, the thin line, the black, the white. I knew what they meant in regards to people's voices. And I realized that I'm seeing a code in regards to people's voices pertaining to their character, pertaining to their belief systems. So it wasn't like Kanye wasn't saying what he meant. There was just way more of a story behind it. There was more to the story. There was more character there. There were more belief systems that he wasn't articulating in that moment. But I just knew what they were. And so I started to just experiment with this gift. I would watch more YouTube videos and I would close my eyes and I would listen and I would say to myself, oh, he's like this or she's like that. And I just started to develop it. It was the most bizarre thing. I had never heard of anyone else with this particular gift. And I started to develop it more and more. And it was really hard to articulate what that was at first. And I developed it to the point where I no longer saw barcodes, but I could just, it's so weird, like Trey, honestly.
I know.
I still see shapes and patterns and I still feel things and I still I still see words and images, but I just know what they mean. And so, for example, people with higher sounding voices, let's speak about women. Women with higher sounding voices tend to have a lot of clarity in their character. They tend to be more bright, more optimistic. And women who have lower, this is very general, by the way, guys. Women who have like a lower voice, they tend to be more solid, more grounded. Um, and I just started to experiment with what I was hearing by just listening more and more and more. And that, whatever you use grows. And I just started
Mm-hmm.
to realize that this gift was taking on a life of its own almost. And that's when it started to get super specific, because I had a room here on Clubhouse for a year where I was teaching people. It was the Vocal Alchemy and Marketing Magic Room. And I was coaching people in their businesses. And that's when it started to get super specific. Like they would say a certain thing and I'm like, no, that's not it. No, that's not it. Something happened around the age of 5. What was that? And then to be able to be that specific to help people get to the breakthrough that they really want.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody says that they want more money. They don't want more money. What they want is to be valued. And someone sowed a seed when they were about 5 that they were not valued. And they've been trying to seek value through money ever since. And so to help someone to get super clear about what it is that you actually want, it's not the money that you're chasing. You're chasing love. And love does not need to be chased. You can have it right here, right now, by making a decision, by being open, by staying open, by staying in that space of unlimited freedom and the ability to receive. Now you can start making your money.
Mm.
And you can start making your money not believing that you need to chase it or making it about your worth or your value. It's freely given and it's freely received. And so that kind of specificity came out the more I used it. So that's a really long answer to your question.
That is
Yeah.
so crazy. And so I'm wondering if okay, switch. This is so crazy because that's of course, so then that answer just makes me want to hear so many more answers. I think your computer volume's still on. Is it on? Is it
It
on?
is,
Because I still hear
it's
some
muted.
feedback, but it's okay. So I'm thinking probably all this time when you're hearing these other people's tones, and then now, because this is what I've discovered is once I really learned how to read energy, right, and that I can pick up these cues, right, of what they're not saying, body language, right? It's a combination. It's a recipe of a bunch of things, and then I'm getting this information, right, and so then I'm like, oh my gosh, now for me, I realized that it never turns off. Like it's like a conversation. It's like always being at a restaurant and being able to hear the people's conversations next to you, right? And so it's just learning to uh engage or disengage, or always telling myself, oh, that's not my conversation. You know what I mean? But then sometimes I'm so intrigued, so now, like when people are on TV, say for instance, or now these favorite singers, so now you're bringing up Smokey Robinson and some of these people, and so I'm going, oh my god, she attracted these people, because I think that, like, Smokey personally is one of the most I don't know, I guess high vibration, more ascended thinking. Somehow he's getting these downloads to make these amazing songs, and the way in his tones. And I was like, I have noticed something in his tones, like you're saying. So, and I know things ride a vibration, and tone, it's making so much sense when you're saying, okay, the barkers, the thicker, the thinner, longer, thinner, all of this. I'm going, wow. So then you just used all your muscle memory and or whatever it was that linked the dots. So when you did the clubhouse room, it just helped you to get your puzzle pieces back together. And girl, one of my questions was, how did you discover your ability to read? But you already answered that. You answered because you just said when you knew you wanted more, your life shifted and changed, and now you're starting to get this barcode kind of thing going on. And so this brings me I'm going right on to the anatomy of vocal energy. So are these lines and the thicknesses like the anatomy, like how we are bigger or bolder or thicker or and deeper or higher? Is that, or what is the anatomy of vocal energies? Please, I'll switch my mic off. Oh, you muted the stream. Unmic this one. Yeah, you have yourself muted on the stream, baby.
Let's see if this works.
There we go. Yes.
All right. I'm just going to hold my phone. All right. So, yeah, I don't see barcodes anymore. But what I do see, I might see images. I might just know certain things without being told. So, for example, if I listen to somebody's voice and I see like a massive umbrella, then I know that they're a naturally protective person, right? And they have a lot of protective energy in their voice. I can tell things through the cadence and the rhythm of people's voices. People who speak quite slowly tend to be more measured. They tend to think before they step. They tend to step quite gingerly as well. And people who are talking fast, they tend to be quite impatient. They're not in the moment. They're very results oriented, or they could be quite frazzled, quite all over the place in terms of their focus. None of these characteristics are good or bad or right or wrong. They just are. And when it comes down to going after or creating the things that you want, it comes down to what are the traits, what are the beliefs, what are the characteristics that are going to enable me to create this thing, and what are the things that I need to develop in order to create this thing. So whenever I coach people, it's never a good, bad, right, wrong. It's what's serving you, what is serving the vision, and what isn't.
Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. And of course, so now I'm like, oh my God, I need a session with you so that you could tell me all of my craziness, because I'm sitting here going, yes, I'm impatient as heck. I am. And I want results right away, and I'm going to keep going fast. And I know I talk really fast, and I have focused my thinking so much. And for me, I feel like I've really slowed down a lot, but it's through these videos and these recordings that I've realized I still am thinking very quickly, and I'm speaking. My brain goes faster than I can get out the words. I don't know how that keeps happening. But it's and then my mouth can't get out fast enough all of the things that I want to say, or all the questions that I want, because I'm so curious. So oh my gosh, this has been so helpful of that this makes sense of how these, now that you're saying that, I'm like, oh man, that just makes such perfect sense. It's almost like body language, but it's like voice. I get it. I'm good. I'm gonna go on. Okay, so this is like, so do you always see things? Because what I've discovered is all energy is different. So I don't always get images or hear voices or hear the things, right? Sometimes I sense things or smell things. So for you, how do you see or feel or actually, read the energy when, say, if I was working with you or as you're working like in that clubhouse room?
It's so funny. I've never smelled anything. You saying sometimes you smell things. I've never smelt anything. That would be awesome. But
not always.
I just tend to So on my profile, I think I used to have this phrase. I'm not sure if I've changed it, but I describe myself as a seer of sound.
Mhm.
So actually see sound. I see the shapes of what the sound of the voice is making. And based off of the shapes that I can see, I can start to break down the components of the voice. So it's usually hearing, sight, and then based off of that, I will start to feel things and I will start to just know things. But it always starts with seeing the sound, and I'll hear things right away, and sometimes I might need to close my eyes for a deeper listen, because people's voices have so many different layers. And if somebody has been media trained, for example, and they come on Clubhouse, it is quite a job to peel back the layers because they're such a professional.
Yeah.
What's the word? It's like a
It's
professional edge that it's like a shield,
mhm.
and it's
It's like
protecting
it's like
you.
it's
It's
programmed.
protecting you from
Mhm.
really being seen. So I have to kind of break down the protective shield to really get behind it, because everything sounds great. They sound polished. They're media trained, right?
Yeah.
And then when you kind of scratch back past that shield, you're like, oh, that's what's really going on. So yeah, I'll pass the mic back to you.
That's great. Oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. And because really that media training is like the programming, and anybody could teach yourself to sing a song or program a pitch or to read a statement or memorize a thing, their pitch or whatever it is that they got going on. But yes, it is a mask. It is a mask because it's incredible you say that. The more people I have heard on Clubhouse who are really media people, they all a lot of them say that they personally are introverts, that it was never going to be their first thing to be a speaker or to be in front of an audience or to do these things. It's so uncomfortable, right? So then this just it makes me curious about if people have a session with you and you're able to read their energetics, then are you able to help these people then alter, say, this mindset or the habit or the, what I mean, the disbelief or maybe the foundational root cause kind of stuff that you see
Are you speaking about introverts or in general?
in general, just in
Okay,
general?
in
Mhm.
general. Well, 100%, because just like the example that I gave, right? Of this is a hypothetical person, by the way. Didn't
Yeah.
really happen. I'm just giving an example of somebody that said, I want to create more sales in my business. And I kind of do the dig, 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 listen, listen, listen. And I can feel and I can hear that something happened at the age of 5. And your dad told you something that really wounded your self-esteem, and you've been carrying and copying and pasting that your entire life. And so you're now trying to earn the money to prove him wrong, that you're worth something, right? So my work is to work with you and the beliefs that were founded at the age of 5, and to stop and break the pattern of you copying and pasting that in real life and in adult life, should I say. And so when I'm able to work with somebody at the core of their beliefs, it's like a tabletop. You side swipe the table legs, which is all of the beliefs, and then
Nice.
the tabletop tumbles down, you know, and they are able to be like, whoa, I don't have that belief anymore, and I give people exercises. But to be honest with you, most of the time with business owners, what I say is these are the actions you need to take.
Mhm.
You've been afraid to do X, now go and do X.
Yeah.
Just go and do it. And that's the alchemy, is in taking the action in the first place. So yeah, 100%.
Yay. Oh my gosh, this is so amazing, because I'm just thinking of, so for me, what I've realized is that I cannot see my faults. I can read other people really good. Why? Because I see them in totality, right? They're in front of me. I get to see front, back, whatever, but I can't see that for myself. I don't get to know or have these awarenesses very easily, because I'm doing this human existence like everyone else. And trust me, it's like when I go to try and read the energy around my stuff, it just doesn't work out the same for me. Like, because I'm here to help others, I don't get to, I think, use these things for myself a lot. So I, like other people, I have coaches. I have my own healers that I go to. I have my own, support system, or the people who are going to help raise my awareness that I am repeating a pattern, or I'm unaware that I have this, you know, disbelieving thought or whatever, this block from childhood, because we don't even think about it. And if we would have known about it, we would already have something, we would have changed it, right? Because who wants to stay stuck? None of us stay stuck on purpose, I don't think. So I was reading through all of your amazing content. This woman has such amazing content, you guys. So I was so curious about, she talks about seven superpowers of sales, you guys. So who wants to know what the seven superpowers of sales are? I do. Okay, Miss Charlene, can you please tell me what those are? I'm so curious.
I love your curiosity. I just adore it, Um, so I want to tell you how this started,
Okay.
right? I was on a coaching program. And so remember, I used to be in the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped singing professionally, right? Full time. I started to coach singers. And then I wanted to now step into coaching speakers, right? And I remember being on a coaching program, and the instruction was to create like a series of content around a particular topic of whatever you choose. And I just remember going to the divine and saying, what do I talk about? And the seven superpowers just came to me. And I was like, okay, what's that? And basically, I channeled the superpowers. And I remember channeling them very, very swiftly, but I had no information about what they meant until the day of the live stream. I decided to do live streams, 7 live streams. And all I had was the title and one sentence about that title. And the instruction was go live. And I was like,
Okay.
okay. So I just went live with a topic and with a sentence. And I ended up with, on average, 30 minutes of content of a live stream every single day for 7 days. And I just called it the 7 superpowers. One of my favorite superpowers of sales is the superpower of trust. Now, it's so important that, and when people hear the superpower of trust, they think, oh, it's the ability to get people to trust you. No, the superpower of trust is the ability to trust yourself so much that when people are in your presence, they feel safe and they want to pay you for things that they want to purchase from you, right? And these superpowers are all based upon the premise of the dance that one makes between hearing your divine voice and using your external voice. So it's the reason why I don't like preparing many things, because I like
Mm-hmm.
to give space for the divine voice to actually tell me what to say, which is why I was able to go live with a topic and one sentence about the topic and end up with a 30-minute live stream, right? And so the superpower of trust is the ability to stay so connected and so attuned to the divine that you can be on a sales call, and you can, even if you don't have the same spiritual gift as I do or Trey does, you're able to connect so succinctly to the person on the phone that you can read their entire life. You know what the objection is going to be. You know how to overcome the objection, because really overcoming a sales objection is really about getting past the person's resistance to your help. That's all getting past a sales objection really is. And so the superpower of trust is the trust in yourself. It's the trust in your ability to hear from the divine at all times. When you create that space of safety within you, you are able to really command amazing groups of people with a lot of authority, because you trust yourself that much. And people feel it, they can hear it. They may not be able to articulate what they are hearing, but they can hear that you trust yourself. And so your sales, your closing rate goes up, and your ability to create a following goes up also. So that's one. I won't go through all of them. I can tell you where to go for more information about that if you're curious. But my other favorite one is the superpower of potency. Oh my goodness. The superpower of potency is based upon boldness and courageousness. And again, all of these superpowers are based upon the premise of you listen to your divine voice, you respond by speaking with your external voice what you have heard, right? So the superpower of potency is based upon being a potent voice in the marketplace. So in the marketplace, for example, for health, there is an overwhelming message that if you eat well and if you exercise, then you're going to be in good health, right? Yeah. But then the divine comes along and says, yeah, it's got nothing to do with how you eat. It's got everything to do with how you feel about how you eat, okay? And how you eat can turn the most healthful meal into something that is detrimental to the body, and something that is causes the body to stagnate because it's not digesting, right? Because you're in fear, you're feeling guilty, you're feeling, oh, I shouldn't have had that chocolate bar, or I need to have a salad, and all of these different things, right? And now the divine is saying that is your voice in the marketplace. And so if you're bold and if you're trusting, then you can get on a live stream and you can talk about that. That is your edge in the marketplace, where everyone is saying one thing and you are the one voice saying something completely different. And your voice of potency, it polarizes people. And that's good. So I think it's a good thing to polarize people. People can make a choice as to whether to accept what you are saying or whether to say, that's some BS. And that's okay. People are free to choose, right? But the people who do choose to follow you, you become this voice of boldness and clarity in a world that is saying the same ineffective thing. So the superpower of potency is that effective, potent voice in the marketplace, saying the things that people would never dare say, but it's absolutely true. So those are the two examples of the 7 superpowers of sales.
Wow. When you said the trust one, it hit me like right in my solar plexus. And I knew, I was like, well, nope, because I go back to no, as long as I trust myself, everything else will work in my favor. And this is the self-awareness key that we work towards, because when we have confidence in our own choices and I call them my intuitive flashes. And before, when I first started to do this work, right, I said, but what if something I say to someone causes them to do this, that, or the other, right? Like I was taking all this responsibility for this stuff. And I'm like, no, it is my job to communicate what I'm being asked to communicate. And then that's it. Just like a doctor, and when you're in the doctor's office and the doctor's like, well, this is your thing. And then, you know what? Some of us tell our doctor, okay. And some of us are like, no, I'm getting a second opinion, right? No, I'm going to do something different. And so just really trusting yourself and trusting the situations and trusting that life is always perfect and that each situation is come to you to help you to grow and learn is so powerful in that potency. Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, yes. So I can't wait to get more. So you guys, I wanted more information about this. So I'm prepared for you guys. I have in the comments, I am flashing right now Miss Charlene's website. So you have to connect with this woman to get more information, more of your own clarity so that you can have gain your own trust. I know a lot of us don't trust our own choices that we make. And this is why we ask crazy people for advice. Sometimes people who haven't proven to us or have an example that they are successful in the information that we're asking for. I know I used to be this person. I just used to ask people stuff and I did not bother to be discerning about whether or not, say, for instance, when I was married, I would ask people for marriage advice without even thinking if they were married, if they were having a good marriage, or any of this helpful information. Oh my gosh. So and then I would wonder why I'd get this crazy information and it not lead me anywhere. So, oh man, we got so many amazing things going on. So I have continued, I studied this woman and she has so many things going on. So guess what she can do? She can activate stuff in you guys. So I have to ask you, how do you activate? So she has if you read in her information, 12 tones of confidence. So sister friend, I am so excited to hear how that happens for you. If I was your client, how would you activate my 12 tones of confidence? Does it all come at once? Do you have to do them differently? What happens? Tell me.
Juicy questions. So
No.
I actually have a membership called the Vocal Alchemy Vault,
Yes.
where we go into the 12 tones of confidence and I give people the tools to really activate them. Because here's the thing. The reason why 76% of people are so afraid of public speaking is because you are not aware of what it is that you even have in your larynx. You're not aware. You're not aware of the power of it. You're not aware of what it's composed of. You're just not aware. And as I channeled the 12 tones of confidence, for example, one of the 12 tones of confidence is the tone of the resource. Your voice is designed to be a resource to you. And there is a way that I teach my students in the vault to be able to plant things in their life and to uproot things in their life. And I teach people how to do that specifically with your voice. Your voice is designed to create things. That's the purpose of it. And every time you speak, you can uproot things that you don't want in your life and you can plant things that you do want in your life. That's the purpose. So when you understand what your voice is for, you start to feel more confident about using it because you're like, oh my goodness, all of these beautiful things within my voice that I had no idea were even there. The purpose of it, and I always say this, that your voice is what your divinity sounds like. You know, in whether you're a Christian or not, whether you believe that Bible stories are real or metaphorical or not, let's look at the story of creation, right? In the beginning, the earth was without form and void. This is Genesis chapter 1. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters, and God said, let there be light. The first activity that is recorded in the Bible is God speaking, one of the first activities. And, you know, God in its divinity could have created the world in an instant, but decided to do it in stages so that we could see what's up, right?
Yeah.
And so when the divine says, let there be light, and there was light, you can be assured that when you speak something, it will be, because this is the job of the voice. The job is to create things. Your voice is a gift that has been given to you to create. It's not just, you don't just create with your body when you have a baby. You
Yeah.
create when you speak, you create when you think, you create when you entertain voices of fear, you create when you entertain voices of love. You are always creating, and you have a choice as to whether you want the voice of love to emanate from your throat and your voice, or the voice of fear. I'm telling you that those things are so powerful. And
Yes.
so helping people to really discover what they have to be confident about, what their voice actually consists of. You know, one of the other tones is the tone of the gift. When you unwrap your voice and you're able to say, wow, there's so much warmth in here, or wow, there's a tone of mystery in here. I don't give it all away up front. And by the way, this is one of the powers of the introvert. The superpowers of the introvert, honey. Introverts have a lot of mystery. And so, for
Mhm.
example, introverts, if you learn how to do this properly, you can draw people into you. Extroverts know how to reach people and send their voice out. As an introvert, you can pull people in. That is one of the gifts that you have. And when you understand what it is that you actually possess, it's like having a gigantic toy that you would buy, like a really expensive toy. And then you're like, oh my God, I cannot wait to get home to try this thing because it's just amazing. That's what the voice is. And in this case, what I'm teaching people to do is to use their gifts, their resources, all of these tones of confidence to create wealth and luxury and visibility, because that's what business owners want.
Oh
So,
my
yeah.
God. Yeah. Oh man, this has been such an amazing conversation. Okay. I'm like all fired up now because I'm going, oh my gosh, I guess okay, so logically, okay, I'm a human, right? I understand that when I use my words and communicate, I, have a better chance of getting what I want. But I guess in my whole reality, I never realized until you spoke just now that there is more creativeness going on with my communication than I even had an awareness about. And whether or not I'm utilizing my, because I know words are powerful, right? I know that words and affirming and things like that, I'm aware of these things, but I guess it just really hit me that there's more creating than I'm even aware of with my tones and with all of these things. And it's not just my words. It's not just my words that are creating these things. So, oh my gosh, it makes sense that you guys would have to be a member of her club. It's just so I have not even reset this room. I have been in such awe and flow of this conversation. I had so many questions, you guys. This is Trey with some Laugh and Learn Lunch. I am with the amazing Sharleen Linton. Linton. My words are all going together. This amazing goddess has the ability to read your tone. She's a vocal reader, you guys. She studies the anatomy of voices, energies, all of this stuff. She can help you because she has gotten the gift. She has mastered the ability to read this stuff so she can pinpoint where the root causes of the stumbles are in your life for you to create the life you want, whether it's a masterful business. I'm sure you help with relationships because I'm sure there's something in our tones that gives off whether you can be trusted, whether you're thirsty. Like I call it thirsty. You're the girl who's all thirsty, who wants a man so bad that you will never get a man because they can feel that energy of the Klingon stuff. Oh my gosh. So you guys, I have been having such an amazing time with this beautiful goddess. We have been going through some amazing questions. I had just keep asking more and more and more because I want to know more. So we have been, it's already been almost 45 minutes. Oh my God. It's already almost the hour's up, girl. So I have one more last question before we get into your shares about whatever else you want to share. But so for me, I found out, of course, after I started gaining awarenesses about my intuitiveness, and I don't know why I think I have dreams that come true, and you know what I mean. And then like later on, mom's like, oh yeah, all of us are super psychic or intuitive or whatever, right? And da, da, da. But I'm like, why hasn't nobody not said nothing? So I'm curious for you, was it singing that runs in the family? Are there other kind of intuitive medicine people that you're aware of? Please share.
Sure. I mean, that's a great question. So, my mother is a singer,
Mhm.
she is a songwriter, and she is a vocal coach. So, I grew up listening to her coach other people in the house. There was always a piano in the house. I grew up playing the piano. My mother said I always sang when I was a kid, but I would always watch my mom. She would do gigs. I would watch her in the studio. And so it was very natural for me to choose music because I'd seen her do it. She was always a self-employed person, and that was very normal to me. And it wasn't very normal in my neighborhood to even have a piano,
Yeah.
you know.
Hmm.
But that's what she did,
Or to
and
have
she's all
speakers. Mm-mm.
right.
Because that's not a normal 9 to 5er.
Yeah, for sure. It wasn't quite normal, but it was my normal,
Mhm.
you know. And my mother has always done whatever she wanted to do, regardless
Right.
of whether other people were doing it. And I definitely get that spirit from her, that courageous, I don't care, I'm doing what I want to do kind of thing. So I'm forever grateful to my mother's example.
That's That is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. And I just have always intuitively felt like people who write songs, that they're empaths, that they're intuitive, that they are getting these downloads from spirit, whether or not they utilize personal experience or whatever their emotions or thoughts. I've always believed that they get some kind of intuitive information that lets it flow, and especially if they're able to write multiple ones, you know what I mean, and just and if it just flows a lot, I just think they're just downloads, their information. And you understand that you receive downloads because you even used those words earlier in the show. So if you haven't caught all this, please, you guys, you got to watch the replay, because this amazing goddess has shared so much information. I have learned so much in this hour or 50 minutes that we have going on. Oh man, there has been so much information that she has shared. So you guys, before I let her get away, I want for you, okay, so Clubhouse people, you don't have it as easy as all the people on the live stream, because I have her lovely website up and showing on the thing. And you know what, I'm gonna have to put it in the chat for you so that it's in there, because I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I could type on there too. So before we end this program, I want for you to please share what you have coming up, how, if you have any specials, packages going on. Oh, good. There you go. Thank you. Thank you for helping me, because it keeps telling me that there's an error every time I try to do something. So, oh man, Miss Charlene, please. I have your website up. So, what other things you got going on? What's coming up? Are you going to be on any podcasts, any other things where we can hear more about you? Please pick up this mic and share that information, because I know, I swear, you guys, I'm not a fluff and stuffer. I'm not the one who sits here in all my lives and go, oh, I want to connect with you. No, but I'm telling you, I want to connect with you. I'm going to need the information for myself, because there's been, I feel the block in my communication. I feel it in my, and I have just shifted, right? I'm just niching down, getting a target audience. I've gone from a general practitioner to a target audience, and I feel I feel that it's not flowing. So I need those pebbles, rocks, and stones to get the freak out of my way. So, sister, please pick up this mic and tell me and everyone else more how I can connect.
You know, the best way to connect with me is to get in my Instagram DMs with the hashtag superpower. When I see that hashtag, I know that you are serious, you want to work on some things, you need my expertise, and I will definitely engage with you and have a really great conversation, because there's several ways, there's several resources that I have. And I want to be able to talk to you. And I like to engage with voice notes, y'all. So send me a voice note on Instagram so that I can hear you, so that I
I
can
was just
feel
saying, you
you.
can hear.
I really value intimacy, you know. And when I listen to your voice, it's the equivalent of me being like, let me hug on you, you know. So get into my DMs with the hashtag superpower. It's best not to DM me on Clubhouse, but DM me on Instagram instead. It's just a better platform. If you're not ready to work with me just yet, then you can click the link in my bio on Instagram and you can join my email list. You can also join my email list on charlenethevocalalchemist.com. If you scroll right down to the bottom of the website, there will be an area where you can subscribe. I give people on my email list perks. I give people freebies. I give people first dibs at things. So join my email list, and you can also join the email list in the link in my bio. And yeah, but the best way, I love Clubhouse because it's so immediate. You can hear people's voices, right? And so if you were to send me a voice note on Instagram, you would just make my day, because I can just listen to you and I can feel you. And I want you to understand that I'm not listening for what's wrong or what's bad or what's good or what's right. I am listening for you. I am listening for love. I am listening so that I can really embrace you and put a safe space around you so that you can heal and transform. So those are the best ways to connect with me. Email list or the hashtag superpower on Instagram DMs.
Okay, and so I have to ask, do you run clubhouse rooms do you still run one similar to the one where you learned? Because girl, I want to be in your room. I want to be in your room. And when you said for people who aren't ready yet, that's how you get ready, is you sit in this beautiful goddess's energy and you allow yourself to zim with her. And this is why I love talking to. It's my thing. I know I could, and it's not because I'm wanting to read. Again, I'm not trying to read the good or the bad. I'm just connecting, and I'm feeling and sensing the things that I love, and that helps me love deeply and love more. So
Yeah, so I'm actually I'm not doing coaching rooms anymore, but I actually am starting a new room, which I will probably do monthly, where I'm inviting people to tell their transformational stories. Because here's the thing, we exist in the how to space, right? How to make more money, how to get healthy, how to meet the love of your life, how to.
yeah,
This room that I am running is really going not to be about the how to. How did you? How did you do it? How did you transform? And it's not always the big results that people create. How did you create an anxiety free day? How were you able to be so, go from anxiety to hearing God's voice so clearly? And then you took action, and then something amazing happened. I'll be running those types of rooms. So the best thing to do is to follow me on Clubhouse, click the bell so that you get notified whenever I'm speaking. And of course, follow me on Instagram, guys. Follow me on Instagram. I've got some amazing content coming up. And you know, you get to actually engage with me, not just audio. You can engage with me and my content, because I'm pumping out a lot of video content recently, which is my favorite. You know, I want to hear you. I want to see you. I want to engage with you. I want to get my fingers on you. I want to get my supersonic hearing on you. I want all of it, you know. And I'm just making myself available to you. So yeah, just stay connected by subscribing, by clicking the bell on Clubhouse, following me, follow me everywhere.
Yeah.
Back to you, Trey.
You're so cute. Okay, you guys, I am following her everywhere. I'm following her on Clubhouse. This is why when I met her and I heard her, I knew. I'm like, she's talking my language. She can help me. But what I know is that I attract reciprocating energy. And I know that I'm here to help people just as much as they're here to help me. And I accept and allow all of the blessings in my life because I know I want to be better. I want to learn more. And the more I can learn, the more I can help others. So, oh my gosh, Charlene, I loved our hour. It's the time's already up, and I'm all about honoring people's time and space and energy. So, all of you guys who joined on Twitter, on Facebook, we got all of the little cute thumbs ups and the things. I loved it. Please connect with Miss Charlene. There's her link to her website. Go to her Instagram. I love Instagram. You guys, be bold. Be bold. That's all it takes. And let your voice be heard because you have amazing things inside of you that somebody will benefit from. Every single person on this earth has wisdom, wisdom that will help somebody else. So let's be the little ants that help each other keep growing and growing and climb up together. And we're going to get to the top one little person at a time. So Charlene, thank you for your time. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you. I have learned so much. I can't wait to connect. It has been a fun laugh and learn lunch. This is Trey getting ready to sign off with my native talking mic for this room if it lets me end it. And I'm going to sign off the live stream now. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. We will see you here next week. Same time, same place. Wednesday, 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you want to see our beautiful faces, Clubhouse people, get on my YouTube, Trey Urban. All my things are Trey Urban everywhere. Just look for that Trey Talk, hashtag Trey Talk. All right, you guys, I'm going to count down this room. I am going to do it 3, sending you so much light and love. 2, so much supportive energy. 1, confidence and clarity on your forward motion.